Hello friends and followers. Well, again, the Pyramid 3 power supply. But I got better news for you. This sucker is working well now. Why is it working better? So I'm on 13.8 volts here, exactly. And here's the power sucking Flex Radio 6400. I have it dialed up to full power on 20 meters now into a dummy load. So there's a dummy load back there with the paper on it, whatever. Okay, so it's up to full power in tune. And now we're gonna nail it. It's putting out 100 something watts, 105 watts, coasting down a bit. Anyway, yeah, it's cranking, so. Flex Radio's cranking out 100 watts roughly, maybe 95 now. We've dropped down from 13.8 to 13.76. Mind you, this used to drop 1 volt, so that's a lot better. It is doing a drop now, isn't it? But it's holding. Well, it's dropping. Anyway, it's a lot better than it was. Looks like we're right smack at the red line here at 20 amps. Volts the same as here. Yeah, we're dropping though. So what's going to die first, the flex or the power supply? It's holding. So what did I do to fix this thing? You've seen the video about the 4 capacitors I put in. Now, I basically soldered. I don't want to burn this thing up. I'm transmitting 100 watts carrier here. I'm afraid I will. Yeah, it's fallen. It's definitely fallen down. And I smell heat. Let's, well, that's long enough. I think 2 minutes carrier on 100 watts, that's fine. Oh, radio crapped out. So the radio did crap out finally. So it didn't like something. So it's not perfect yet. But it's better than it was. I was going to send this back to the guy that I bought it from. I only paid like $100 for it. That's enough. Every time this thing craps the radio, I want to send it back. Anyway, what did I do this time? So all these connections here, which were crimped on, I soldered. So I soldered that one, I soldered this one, it was crimped on, and that one, and then the rectifier, the square rectifier down there, those were all crimped on wires, crimped on to the square connectors, and then the square connectors were pushed on to the rectifier. So I soldered both a wire onto the little plug there, and then soldered the plug onto the rectifier. So that's all soldered. That seems like it made a big difference, as my voltage drop is only like, it starts off at like only like 0.05 volt. So now we're at 13.8 again, exactly where I was. The flex is booted back up, and that's still really hot. Wow. It's really, really hot. That's really hot. This thing is like boiling. So it's probably overheated. 20 amps, 2 minutes. Let's see what it will do now. That's probably too much for it to be continuously at 100 watts for everything. Anyway, the flex is back up, so let's crank it back a bit. Just a bit. It won't be that nice. Do a tune now. Okay, we're cranking about 80, 90 watts there, 90 watts. And what we got over here? Okay, we only dropped like, what would it be? 0.2 volts, it's not much. That would be like 10s, 100s. Yeah, it didn't drop much, so that's perfect. Our current now is still at 20. It's hanging in there. So yeah, this might be a viable power supply. I know that Flex likes you to use their switcher power supply, but this might be a good contender now. 13.76 volts. And if I unkey it, we're right smack at 13.8. So that's really, really good regulation at 20 amps. I'm happy with that. I think even a 10 tech wouldn't be that good, or maybe it is, but nope, 20 amps at a very small voltage drop. That's a lot better. I used to have a volt drop. This thing can drop about a volt, so I'm really happy. I think we're back in. Well, it never was in action, but it's back. It's working the way it should now. So yeah, the power really drops back, doesn't it? Kind of squirms around. So I think we're good. I'm gonna call it good, I think. It is kind of coming down a bit, isn't it? Yeah, it's starting to fade down. But unless I'm doing AM transmission at low power or FM transmission at 100 watts. Oh, radio just rebooted. So maybe the solution is I got to take it up to like 13.9. People are saying you got to crank it up a little bit to have it survive all this stuff. Now we're cranked up to 13.9. Will that help? Don't know. Okay, radio is booting up again. Takes a while. People complain about the Flex being a slow booter if they're trying to catch DX and they hit it, takes a minute or something. I think when you crash it, it takes longer. But I like the radio. I feel I'm doing it a misjustice with a bad power supply. But it's not a switcher. I should probably get like an Astron 25 or 35 amplifier or 35 amp power supply for this thing. All right, the light is done blinking. Smart SDR is back up and running. We're at 20 meters again. And what would I want to change here? Tune power a little less, maybe. There's tune. We're at 90 watts. Back here. Come on. 13.8 is what I set it at, or yeah, 13.9 I think. So I set it to 13.9. It's holding at 13.84, pretty good. So maybe, no, it's coming down. But even when it hits 13.8, I don't think it'll quit. It's going down fast. Flex is heating up. I can hear it running, the fan running. No, it's going down like a rock. Well, that may be all I'm going to get out of this thing is 3 minutes continuous duty and it craps out. That's enough though. Well, it's kind of holding there. Holding at 13.8. No, it's not. Nope. All right, well, it's going to reboot, so. Oh, it just rebooted. So yeah, the power supply is not that stable. Not at high power. All right, thanks for watching. It's better than it was. Have a great day.